Saturday and his amazing friends.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday and His Amazing Friends, the show that takes a loving and very sarcastic look back at the classic Saturday morning cartoons from our past. Today, we're taking a look at a cartoon series about a colony of tiny magical creatures who live in a hidden village and get into all kinds of family-friendly and magical adventures. That's right, it's the Smurfs! Rip-off the Snorks! Running from 1984 to 1989. Really? This thing ran 5 years? Wow. The Snorks followed the adventures of multicolored underwater sea creatures. What's that? Everyone in your village is blue? That's so lame and monochromatic. We have an entire pride flag down here. These Snorks live under the sea in a place called, wait for it, Snorkland. Because Snork Village would have been a little too much on the nose. If you haven't guessed, Snorks are wet Smurfs. And very little more than that. Oh, you think I'm being unfair and I should give the Snorks the due that it's owed? Well, think again, Jock No Clue Stow. Snorks was created by Freddie Machinadam, who previously worked with Smurfs creator Peyo as a contract negotiator to bring the little blue abominations to television. When Peyo and Machinadam had a falling out over creative differences, Machinadam created the Snorks to directly compete with the Smurfs. So what you're seeing when you watch the Snorks is the cartoon equivalent of a spite house, something deliberately created out of pure maliciousness to directly compete or at least ruin something else. Think Ants and a Bug's Life, or Deep Impact and Armageddon, or Finding Nemo and Shark Tale. And I don't know about you, but there's a big part of me that just respects that level of pettiness. So let's dive into the Snorks and see... I can't do this. This isn't right. To truly recap and appreciate something like the Snorks, I have to do it somewhere more fitting than my mom's old smelly living room. But where?
That's better. Hey, if I'm going to review the Snorks, I'm going to do it the right way. Besides, if I hate the Smurfs, I'm probably going to hate underwater Temu Smurfs even more, and this will at least make things a little less painful. So let's dive in to the Snorks.
I first discovered Captain Ortega's logbook in a monastery that overlooks the sea. On the morning of February 13th,
I'm sorry, I thought this was the Snorks. Hold on. Here we go. Wait, what the heck? This tape says Snorks, but it looks more like the Pirates of Darkwater. Oh, dang! Pirates of Darkwater. That's what I should have brought on this cruise. So this is actually the opening of the Snorks. You have to be a little patient. I remember thinking, oh cool, a pirate show. And then, no, freaking Snorks. A cartoon bait and switch. I changed the channel, but it's so far. Snork along. So this series even rips off the Smurfs using Smurf as an adjective, noun, verb, and pronoun. It couldn't be any more snorking obvious if they tried. So, as you can see, the Snorks have a snorkel on top of their head, and oh my god, I just realized that's why they call themselves the Snorks. Does this mean they have lungs in their heads, or some kind of trachea that runs up from the top of their heads to their chests? Or does the trachea go around the brain? Does it go through the brain? Or is their brain located somewhere else in their body? Do they have a decentralized brain like a starfish? Does that mean If I were to cut a Snork into multiple pieces, would I grow a bunch of new Snorks? While this series is a blatant ripoff, at least they have a reproductive cycle that makes more sense than the Smurfs do. I'm sorry. I just don't buy the theory that Smurfs divide asexually. Or is it Smurf-sexually? This is the train of thought that has put me on multiple government watch lists.
You can phone here.
Bye, Mom.
Now what?
You could win a phone of your own in my Monster Phone sweepstakes.
Yeah?
1,000 kids can win their choice of a Touch-O-Matic, clock radio, cordless, or Monster Button Phone.
That's right, kids. Act now and you might also win other obsolete technology like a cassette answering machine, a pager, and a typewriter.
Oh, bright ideas and an Oreo cookie. It's a bright idea to dunk it or to crunch it or unscrew it or to lick it or to trick it. But no matter what you do, it's true. It's fun to munch a creamy, crunchy chocolate. O-R-E.
You might be cool, but are you build an entire Rube Goldberg machine to eat Oreos cool? You know what would be cooler than that? Just eating the darned Oreo, Poindexter. We start the first Snorks adventure, yes, first, because every episode was made of 2 smaller adventures, with the main Snorks hanging out together as the Snork governor is making a bunch of nonsensical proclamations.
I now declare this bridge open. It's not the bridge? Oh, of course. I know. I hereby proclaim today to be Tuesday.
I guess it's comforting to see that even in the world of cartoons, the politicians are also confused geriatrics.
Pretty nice of the governor to give away free plank burgers, huh, Mom?
The star of the series is All-Star, and he's there with his friends and family watching the proceedings. Some people may say, look at this guy. What kind of name is All-Star? I can tell you. All-Star is someone who got his game on and went and played. He's also a rock star who got his show on and got paid. He is someone who knows that all that glitters is gold, and only shooting stars break the mold. No, really, his cousin is named Shooting Star, not because he's famous or a go-getter, but because of a manifesto and a bell tower. This is Tudor. Take a wild guess why he's named that. That's right. He farts out of his snork hole. Wait, is the snorkel an equivalent of a butt? Does that mean, oh dear God? It turns out that the governor only gave out free food because he blew tax dollars on a monument of himself. There's another minor difference between Snorks and Smurfs here. Snorks are being exploited by capitalism and affluenza, while the Smurfs are just dirty communists. However, the already peeved crowd is elated to discover that the governor's vanity project has been vandalized, and not that well. Just a bunch of random red squiggles? I'm not that impressed. Not one phallus in the entire composition. Visually uninteresting and lacking any cohesive vision.
Who's responsible for this outrage?
The governor is furious, and his snitch of a son, Junior, fingers All-Star and his gang as the vandalizing culprits with no evidence or even reason to. It's all just pettiness. So, I'm going to assume that this is Freddie Monicadam's author surrogate here. All-Star and his friends seek out the help of Papa Snork, who actually doesn't offer any help at all, as it's All-Star who comes up with the plan, so they could have just skipped the old guy altogether.
What about if we clean it up? Will that make him happy?
Nothing will make him happy.
Just like my ex. All-Star and his gang set out to clean the governor's statue, and by that I mean that All-Star makes his pet octopus do it for them, which is basically slavery. I guess everyone has their set roles in this society, which means that this is yet another way Snorks ripped off the Smurfs. The Snorks pair up and go home, leaving poor, lonely Tudor to go home alone. Tudor, if everyone is avoiding you and your nickname is actually Tudor, maybe you should lay off the sea beans if you catch my drift. Tudor finds a red crayon on the seafloor and starts drawing on a clam. Dude, that's the clam's home. Don't do that. Would you like it if someone drew all over your house? Thankfully, Junior comes along and stops him, blaming Tudor for the statue vandalism as well.
I suspected you all along.
You know, I've been trying to figure out where I've heard Junior's voice before. It was driving me nuts, and then it hit me. He's a SWAT cat. He's a Ninja Turtle. He's the American Rabbit. You totally forgot American Rabbit was a thing, didn't you?
You'll be lucky to get off with 20 years at hard labor. And
What are Snork prisons like? I'm guessing it's a lot like Oz, but wetter.
Wait till you see what's coming from Honeycomb. 1984 mini metal license plates.
Do you think those plates were made in Snork prison? It's part of my headcanon now. Oh, man, they really missed the opportunity to call the Snorks headcanons. Maybe in the future gritty R-rated reboot.
It's gunfire with the spaceship rainbow above. Well, what is gunfire?
It's blue. It's blueberry.
That's not very realistic. We all know that the only flavors of bubblegum in the Old West were dirt and tobacco. Tudor is put on trial in one of the most terrifying courtrooms I've seen in cutesy animation. Seriously, what is this? Isn't this how Kirk and Spock were put on trial by the Klingons?
It is the judgment of this court that without possibility of reprieve or parole, you be taken from this place to the dilithium mines on the penal asteroid of Rurapente.
This red crayon alone proves my case. Will the defendant Tudor Shelby please step forward?
Where is he?
He's not here.
Your Highness, Your Very Highness, we are Tudor's parents. Beep, beep. He's such a good little Snork.
You're not fooling anyone, Tudor. We know that's you in the dress. Tudor has actually run away to go hide in a shell by a dangerous current. A current that he falls victim to when a cuttlefish scares him. Oh my god, did Finding Dory rip off the Smurfs? A verdict is about to be rendered when a shocking twist occurs.
Your Excellencies, it seems that it appears that someone has drawn another mustache on my portrait. Then Tudor is innocent! Case dismissed!
Wait. Tudor literally ran away and no one knows where he is or where he's been. He could have easily drawn a mustache on the statue during the proceedings that apparently everyone in Snorkville decided to attend. He's guilty. Dang. I'd make an incredible Snork prosecutor. I'd send Tudor to the chair. Well, maybe not the chair, as water and electricity don't exactly mix. We could tie helium balloons to his feet and just let him go. He'd float into the sky where he'd never be seen again, the opposite of a mob assassination. You're gonna sleep with the seagulls, Tudor. These are the thoughts that assure that I will never come off those government watch lists. All-Star and his friends go after Tudor in a submarine, which begs the question, why do Snorks have a submarine? This makes as much sense as Superman having a jet, but hey, we've got to sell toys somehow, right? They make it to the shell, but strangely never look inside, which would have been the first thing I would have done. But then again, I wouldn't have done it. I would be too busy prosecuting Snorks for various crimes. They surmise that Tudor has gotten caught in the current and go after him. They find him being attacked by a Little Mermaid sidekick.
One day when the boss get hungry,
yes, you can be on deeply.
Ready, shell shooter!
Shell shooter ready!
Fire one!
Wait, why does the submarine have weapons? Do the Snorks go to war? Who could they possibly be fighting against? Oh my goodness.
Fire one!
The Snorks rescue Tudor and bring him home, where he's greeted with cheers, which is kind of weird in my opinion, because he thumbed his nose at Snork society and had no confidence in the justice system, so much that he made himself a felon on the run, but, you know, whatever.
I can't find my new red crayon.
But who vandalized the governor's statue? Why, it turns out it was Small Star, All-Star's baby sister. The mystery is solved. The Snorks live happily ever after.
We find Small Star guilty of vandalism and sentence her to death.
And the scales of justice remain equal for all.
Wake up, guys. We got work to do.
We do?
Well, I've got to get out the morning edition. And we've got to get out.
Paper routes were just child labor wearing lipstick. I said what I said.
Now free in Rice Krispies, one Masters of the Universe Puffy sticker.
I got He-Man. Right here, it's one hero of them all. Yeah, next to Tila.
You can collect all 5, free.
Oh, come on. What kind of loser would buy a box of cereal just for a He-Man sticker? It's me.
Alert the troops! They're protecting Toothopolis with some gel! Attack!
Cavity grease. Press down. Press down.
Great tasting Crest Gel with Fluorostat. You creep.
Repelled by Crest Gel.
Holy cow, when does this cartoon come out? I mean, I know it's a commercial for Crest, but I'm invested and I want to see more.
They're coming to your town. Gremlins. From now until August 11th, a sheet of 6 Gremlin stickers is available at participating stores when you buy a tube of Crest. You can catch a gremlin with Crest.
These products sure are desperate to bribe kids into using them. I mean, free bikes, free license plates, free He-Man and Gremlin sticker. Hey, manufacturers, listen. If you want to just cut out the middleman and not even manufacture free stuff, I'll just take money to buy your product. Call me. The next Snork story is called Das Boot. They named an episode of The Snorks after a mature Russian submarine thriller that absolutely no one in their viewing audience has ever seen. Bravo, Snorks. Bravo. The Snorks are playing their version of water polo where they use their snork holes to flatulate a ball up and down the field. Now, I'm no expert in snork biology, but I would stake my reputation that that's how this game works. Meanwhile, on the surface, a sailor on an aircraft carrier loses his boot into the ocean, and it comes down into the middle of whatever the heck game the Snorks are playing. This causes a panic and a reenactment of an audience reaction to a Kid Rock concert. The Snorks are confused and speculate about what the unknown object from the overworld is, even though they're all literally wearing boots. Listen, if a giant hamburger fell out of the sky and landed in my yard, I would be able to recognize it was a hamburger, only bigger. A larger scale does not make an object unrecognizable. That's why people can recognize your mom.
Aliens! Wow. Is there some way we can talk to them?
Better watch out, All-Star. You're gonna get a probe in your snorkel.
Voila! The Babylotron.
Papa Snork invents a device to speak to the aliens, but it only translates into a strange, nonsensical language that no one on Earth can understand.
Pourquoi le Snork a traversé la route? Parce qu'il copiait le Strunt. Va te faire foutre, c'est marrant.
Where's Tooter?
He was right near that UFO when it landed. I haven't seen him since.
Wait, they only just now realized their friend had been missing all this time? Poor guy. What do you guys think? Do you think Tooter was reincarnated as Meg from Family Guy or Alexander from Star Trek The Next Generation? Tooter, as it turns out, was hiding in the trash the entire time, and while investigating the boot, hides inside it when he sees Snitchy McGee and his little brother approaching. Tooter, ironically, being the only intelligent Snork in the entire show, takes advantage of this opportunity for mischief and screws with Junior. Maybe even getting even with him for that whole crayon vandalism debacle from the last episode. So Tooter pretends to be an alien just to troll people. And honestly, that's what aliens do anyway. They troll the entire planet. I mean, why else would they bother kidnapping people from Arkansas?
Open the jar. secret.
The powers of evil control Castle Grayskull.
Oh yeah, Dad, what's Realman's power? I'll get us inside, He-Man.
This commercial is so inaccurate. If it was more realistic, it would go like this.
What is this? I don't understand this game. What's a Skeletor? Why isn't He-Man wearing more clothes?
Oh, those little Keebler elves make uncommonly good cookies. Next, they do it magically in a hollow tree.
I question the sanitation and cleanliness of any bakery in a hollowed-out tree. I bet those cookies are full of sawdust and bug bits.
A whole bunch of horrible creatures are in that thing that landed in the stadium.
A whole bunch!
Dozens! Yipes!
Junior goes around Snorkland telling everyone about the awful, evil aliens that dwell in the UFO, which is a much better story than the real one. You know, the one where he soiled himself and ran away like Josh Hawley on January 6th. Meanwhile, Papa Snork is about to use a translator to talk to the aliens, but the device attracts a crab who, should we be watching this? The crab takes the boot away, Junior is humiliated, and Papa Snork is eaten by sea creatures.
With anemones like that, who needs friends?
It's the Get Along Gang, it's the gang that's going. It's the Get Along Gang, and the fun is always showing. Get along, get along, get along.
Did you get all that? Introducing Zipper Cat Skating Plush from the Get Along Gang.
You can play like a Zipper Cat. He knows where it's really at. Max racing with you, making super.
Ew, those toys look awful and stupid. Well, I guess I should be grateful that there's not a cartoon based on them that I would have to review later. What?
Franco-American presents Mr. O.
Hi-oh, today Cook Gormando will show us why kids are going to like new SpaghettiOs even more than...
Well, that's appropriate. During a cartoon starring Great Value Smurfs, we get a commercial starring Great Value Muppets. And that's the Snorks, a show that proves you don't have to be original to have a successful run on television. A show in the grand tradition of Instinct, Elementary, Unhappily Ever After, Babylon 5, and the Munsters that saw a good idea, took that good idea, and really didn't do anything else with it. You can make the argument that sometimes copies surpass the original, but let's face it, the Snorks were just moist Smurfs that fart out of their head. If you like what you saw here, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and press that notification icon so that I can annoy you with a pop-up every time I upload new garbage. Also, consider becoming a Patreon by visiting the video description below, and if that doesn't grab you, why not become a channel member? Information about that can be found on my channel's main page. Well, my friends, I have to go. I'm gonna go snorkeling. Not the fart out of my head type of snorkeling, but the kind of snorkeling where you go look at pretty fish and coral and step on Snorkland really, really hard if you happen to find it. Until we meet again, be sure to remember that you are an outstanding person, you deserve love and happiness, and don't ever let anybody tell you any differently. Be safe, be sound, and I will see you next time on Saturday and His Amazing Friends. Wait, did I leave the iron on?